Lessons from Joseph. Joseph, one of the most well-known figures in the Old Testament, is a powerful example of faith, perseverance, and God's providence. His life, as recorded in the book of Genesis, is filled with trials, triumphs, and invaluable lessons that resonate with believers today. Through his journey, we learn about forgiveness, integrity, and the fulfillment of God's promises. Perseverance in the face of adversity. Joseph's life was marked by significant challenges, beginning with his brother's jealousy. Sold into slavery by his brothers, Joseph could have easily fallen into despair. Instead, he persevered, trusting that God had a purpose for his suffering. And they took him and threw him into the pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Genesis chapter 37 verse 24. Despite the initial hardships, Joseph remained faithful, even when falsely accused by Potiphar's wife and thrown into prison. His perseverance is a testament to the power of unwavering faith in God's plan. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. Genesis chapter 39 verse 21. Integrity and faithfulness. Joseph's integrity is evident throughout his life, especially in his resistance to Potiphar's wife's advances. He chose to honor God and remain faithful, even when it led to his imprisonment. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Genesis chapter 39 verse 9. This decision highlights the importance of staying true to one's values and commitments, regardless of the consequences. Joseph's faithfulness was ultimately rewarded by God, as he rose to a position of power in Egypt. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "See, I have set you over all the land of Egypt." Genesis chapter 41 verse 41. Forgiveness and reconciliation. One of the most profound lessons from Joseph's story is his capacity for forgiveness. When his brothers, who had sold him into slavery, came to Egypt during a famine seeking food, Joseph had the power to exact revenge. Instead, he chose to forgive and reconcile with them. But Joseph said to them, "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Genesis chapter 50 verse 19 and 20. Joseph's forgiveness of his brothers teaches us the importance of letting go of past wrongs and trusting in God's greater plan. It shows that forgiveness can lead to healing and restoration of relationships, God's sovereignty and providence. Throughout Joseph's life, we see a clear demonstration of God's sovereignty. Despite the suffering and trials Joseph endured, God's hand was at work, orchestrating events to fulfill his divine purpose. Joseph recognized this, understanding that his journey was part of God's greater plan to save many lives during the famine. "So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt." Genesis chapter 45 verse 8. This acknowledgement of God's providence serves as a reminder that, even in our darkest moments, God is working behind the scenes for our good and his glory. Joseph's life is a powerful testament to the importance of faith, perseverance, integrity, forgiveness, and the recognition of God's sovereignty. His life encourages us to trust in God's plan, even when we face challenges and uncertainties. By following Joseph's example, we can learn to live lives that honor God and reflect his love and grace to others.